So, a couple months back, I made a video where I discussed Silent Hill Ascension. Well, actually, I sort of ripped it apart. And that video went on to become my most successful that I've uploaded. But if I'm being honest, in the time since that video, I sort of held out a little hope that it might not have been as bad as I was fearing. Sure, it's a strange concept that visually didn't look all that impressive, but maybe I was just being a little too harsh, that all the talk of trauma this and trauma that could be chalked up to the promotional material just kinda missing the mark. So finally, after 9 long years of Silent Hill being a dormant franchise, on Halloween night, Ascension went live. It's even worse than I ever could have imagined. Are we serious? Look at this. No, seriously. Take a second and look at this. Silent Hill, one of the greatest, most iconic horror franchises to have ever existed, makes its grand re-entrance looking like this. Who do we even blame for this mess? Konami? Genvid? Who was in charge here? What collective of minds gathered in a room and drew this? Let me settle down a bit. Have you ever browsed Instagram or Twitter and been met by just the most egregious fake mobile game ad that is so clearly some kind of a scam? Why does Ascension's interface look like every one of those scam mobile games? Microtransactions up the wazoo, a battle pass, like I'm about to drop into a Fortnite game. Why the hell do I need a season pass for something that is literally a collection of pre-rendered cutscenes? Oh, I can customize my character. Well, that's pretty cool. When am I ever going to look at this? The most offensive part of everything here is the voting system. At the end of each episode, the community will be given 3 scenarios on which they can vote, and the winning scenarios will then play out in the next episode. At its core, it isn't a terrible idea. Community interaction is always vital to keeping an IP relevant, after all. However, speaking of IP, that's the form of currency you need to cast your votes. Yes, you heard that right. You need currency to vote. That's fine until you tap that beautiful shop button to find that you're able to buy this currency with real-world money. What this means is that those deranged few who decide to just throw their wallets at Ascension hold all the power in the vote. They can just buy endless currency and sway the polls in whichever direction they choose, while you, the sane human being you are, hold absolutely no power because you're just using whatever currency you're being handed for free. In the end, this free service has somehow, nightmarishly yet predictably, turned into a soulless cash grab. Yay. Hey guys, future Griffith here. Funny thing happened after I finished recording this video. Another episode of Silent Hill Ascension came out, and afterwards, Jacob Navoke, the CEO at Genvid, stopped by to talk to everybody. Now, when I say talk, I mean more rant than anything. Really, what this came off as was damage control. It seems he's very upset at the community reaction to Ascension. He's trying to tell us that there's going to be more currency as time goes on, and, we're still in the early stage, and he was trying to tell us that people buying currency is not going to sway the vote all that much, which is just wrong. What was really amusing is that he told us just because there's currency in the shop that you can buy, he's not forcing us to buy anything. The currency in the shop, they made it so insignificant that you wouldn't even be tempted to buy it. Buddy, I got an easy fix for you. Don't put any currency in the shop that you can buy with real-world money. I think that solves the issue just fine, right? At the end of the day, you have malicious transactions in your pretty terrible mobile experience thing. He went on to say that there's a lot of talented people working on this. Who cares? If this is the product you're giving us, I don't care if Hideo Kojima was working on this project. It's not good. I don't know. It felt very weird. If you want to check it out, if it's possible to even watch again, I do encourage you to do it. Anyway, back to the video. Now, I decided I'm not going to criticize anything regarding Ascension's storyline, as we only have 20 minutes or so of footage. One of our main characters, Rachel, witnesses the death of Joy as they're taking part in some cult ritual, and I'm witnessing the death of joy while watching this. An older man in Poland, if I'm remembering correctly, sees visions of monsters before his ill wife dies suddenly. That's about all we've seen so far. I think I very much can criticize how Ascension looks, however. I can't be the only one looking at this and thinking it just doesn't look good. Like, why do most last-gen video game cutscenes look better than this? Hell, Team Silence games look better than this. Why do facial expressions in PlayStation 2 era video games look better than Ascension? The characters have such goofy reactions sometimes. The sequence where the older guy Orson is running from the creature outside his home looks like laughably bad. And I know it's a pretty common belief that Silent Hill has always prioritized story over everything, but even still, Silent Hill 1 to 4 were marvels in appearance for their time. I mean, Silent Hill 3 is probably one of the best looking games of the era, period. I would forgive janky appearance if a game has a genuinely interesting storyline or fun mechanics, but at this stage, with all the other problems Ascension is boasting, why should we forgive it for looking bad? To close things out, I'm going to talk about a few things that personally are just kind of rubbing me the wrong way. One of those being that sometimes Ascension just feels a little insulting. Like the emotes available in the season pass, this one that says, "It's trauma." Like, really? Imagine playing Silent Hill 2 as we cut back to James after watching the videotape while he's sitting there in absolute misery. Imagine a little emote saying, "It's trauma," pops up over his head. If it wasn't so absurd that it's almost comedic, you could probably see how insulting that is to the franchise in general. I also have to point out, in the first episode, Orson's phone rings, and his ringtone is Promise from the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack. Like, that's... It almost feels like an insult. Like, oh, hey, you wanted some fun games from your favorite franchise? Here, have this instead. Like they're laughing at us while dangling a callback to an actual good game in our faces. I don't know. I really didn't think Ascension could be worse than whatever I was expecting it to be, but kudos to them. They really delivered something that sucks. It flat out just sucks. I know people are going to say boycott it, don't take part in it, but I don't think that's going to take us anywhere meaningful. I absolutely don't recommend you download this thing, but if you do, you got to check out the chat feature. Some of the people talking in there are pretty entertaining. I'm not going to lie, I think 75% of my time on the app has just been me mindlessly reading through the chat. But that's it. I'm sorry, Silent Hill fans. It looks like we slipped into the other world at some point and are just kind of doomed to be punished by bad entries into our favorite franchise forever. As always, let me know what you think about Ascension in the comments. Maybe we can supply each other with a few laughs. We could probably all use it right about now. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.